Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Luis with Eye Candy Detailing. Today, we're gonna go ahead and break down our full detail process. We have this Honda here that's gonna be receiving the interior detail, exterior detail, and on top of that, they went ahead and added on the polish, which is also gonna provide 12 months of paint protection. All right, let's go ahead and walk through the car. Let me kind of show you guys what we're looking at here. First things first, we're gonna be looking at the tires, we're gonna be looking at the rims, we're also gonna be looking at the condition of the paint. Right now you can tell we did get a little bit of rain, so it has some water spots here and there. This is a 2025 and I went ahead and did check the condition of the paint and we did notice a lot of swirl marks. Take a look at this, guys. So this being a 2025, you can kind of see we have some water spots, we have some etching, we have those light scratches and swirls. And if you're wondering how you get these, a lot of the time it's going to be from improper washing, and a lot of the times also from the car wash. This is how I explain it to my clients. You got to think about it like this: the car wash, when you're passing through it, let's say before you, somebody went off-roading, took their truck, has a bunch of mud, has a bunch of little pebbles, rocks, whatever. They go through the car wash. All that stuff that the brushes pick up, they're not going to change out those brushes because he went through. No, you're going to pass right through after him, and all those little mud, those little pebbles, the rocks, all that stuff is going to be whipping all over your paint, and that's how you get those nasty scratches. Now, I understand that some people, hey, they need something quick, they need something fast, but if you have a vehicle that you care about, I just would not pass it through there, right? Because you don't know when that's going to happen, and it happens very often. Again, this is a 2025 and you can see the paint is pretty beat up, but we're going to go ahead and make it right. We're going to do a polish on it, and that's going to remove minor scratches and swirls. Anything that's really deep and really heavy onto the paint, it's not going to remove that, but the difference is going to be night and day. That's what we're looking for. Let's take a look at the interior here. All right. So in the interior, we're looking at all the cracks, all the crevices, right? We're gonna be looking at the seats, the seat crevices as well. What I like to do is pull them down like this so I can check what's going on in here, looking for any stains, looking at the gaskets here, between the seats, cup holders, all that good stuff. We're just looking all around, seat belts, we're looking at the headliner. We're looking basically from top to bottom. In any of my detail packages, that's what we're doing, right? Especially interior or full detail, we're looking from top to bottom just to make sure we're giving you guys the best detail. But we are gonna start on the exterior. I like to start on the exterior because I like for it to look nice, clean. So when people are passing by, like, oh, it looks really nice, right? So that's what we wanna go ahead and do. The sun's coming out. We don't wanna do this in direct sunlight. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. An average detail is gonna take anywhere between 3 to 4 hours. And again, it all kind of depends on condition. The worse the condition, the more time I'm gonna spend on it, right? So, but that's what you can expect, 3 to 4 hours.
And does the client have to be home?
You don't have to be home. The thing is, I've built a lot of trust with my clients. A lot of the times they just leave me the keys and we'll take care of it. But if you're not home, that's cool. If you are home, even better, because what I like to do is once we're done, I like to walk the car with you to make sure everything is up to your expectation and you are completely satisfied with the detail. So that's always super important. You don't have to be here, but I prefer you are.
All right, Luis, what's next on the detail?
We are gonna do the wash and decontamination process now. So when we go and do our polish, the paint is as clean as it possibly can get, You don't want any type of contamination on the vehicle because that gets stuck onto your pads and it's not going to give you the best result.
Now, for potential clients out there who don't know what contamination is, what is that? Dirt?
It can be dirt, it can be brake dust. Like obviously when you're driving around, a bunch of brake dust is flying everywhere, it sticks to your paint. It could be sap, it could be stuff from the trees, it could be anything that's not supposed to be on the vehicle. We would remove. The best way you can tell if your car is contaminated is if you go take, you got a wash and you run your hand through it. If it's not silky smooth and it feels rough and it feels like there's like little dirt particles in there, that's stuck into the clear coat. So we remove all of that because you don't want to wax over that, you don't want to seal over that. It's not going to last. It's like you're putting protection over the dirt, You want it to get on top of the clear coat. So you want to make sure it's nice, silky, and smooth. So right now we're gonna do a couple of test spots What I want to see is which result is going to be better. So we have two different pads. This is a Yellow Rupees pad, and then this is a Orange Lake Country pad. So what we're going to test is which one's going to remove the most defects to give me the best possible result. So let's take a look. All right, now that we're done with the exterior, we're gonna hop on the interior. What we're gonna first do is use this special tool called the Tornador, which is compressed air. And if you look at the tip, it's going to spin just like this. And what that's gonna do is vibrate and help loosen up all the cracks and the crannies, all the dust, all the dirt, all the grime. So now that we went ahead and air compressed everything, loosened everything up, it's time for the steam cleaning process. Now, a lot of detailers, they're gonna be using chemicals, brushes, scrubbers, all that good stuff. I personally just really like to use a steamer, really hot steam to break down all the gunk, break down all the grime, and really get into those cracks and crevices as well. On top of that, super hot steam. So we are going to get some, like I said, like some awesome results without having to use harsh chemicals in the interior. You know, it's just hot water and steam. So that's what we're doing right now. Getting everything nice and good, nice and clean. And like I said, no residue, no scents, nothing like that. No greasy dressings, anything like that. I like everything to be matte, clean. I feel like when you're using dressing, I feel like the dust just sticks to it and it just looks ugly. It looks, like I said, greasy. I don't like it. So I personally just use hot steam. That's what I like to roll with. And I also forgot to mention, inside of the steamer, we actually put a little bit of ONR to help boost the cleaning properties inside of the steam. So that's the one little trick that we do to make sure we're getting flawless finishes. And let's say you have scents in the car. Let's say you drop something. Let's say your kid spilled milk, or you were taking a tray of fish for some reason, and it you know, fell onto your carpet, fell onto your seats. We also add BioBomb tablets into the steamer that's going to neutralize and kill any smell that the vehicle might have. And it's gonna, like I said, no, you're not gonna have any scent or anything like that. If there's a lingering smell, completely gone. Is it extra? No. Just let me know. I'll throw the BioBomb in the steamer, and then we're ready to go. I've done a bunch of, you know, a lot of people like to party out here, and a lot of people they'll puke and everything, and they'll call me. Okay, cool. We'll do a biohazard cleaning. We steam it up, put the BioBomb. You can't smell anything, completely gone. That's how strong it is. I've done it with fish. I've done it with, like I said, like biohazard. I've done it with all like rotten milk that's been inside the vehicle, and all my customers love it because it just neutralizes the smell completely, which is huge. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we always ask that you empty out the vehicle completely. If we notice that there's anything inside of the vehicle, we won't touch it. Funny story, one time I had a customer tell me that we stole $2 from her. My reputation isn't worth $2, and I told her I would literally refund you back $2 because I know for sure we didn't take it. Long story short, she ended up finding it in the back of her trunk. That's the reason why we don't touch anything that has personal items, because we just don't want to be liable for anything like that. And like I said, like, empty out your cars completely, and if you decide to leave something inside, I'm just going to assume that you don't want me to touch that area. So for example, inside here, inside there, right? We won't touch anything. So not every seat needs to be shampooed and extracted. What we can actually do is also steam clean the seats to remove that top layer of like sweat, grime, whatever the case may be. And then there you go, nice, clean, and that's it. So we would do it to all the seats. And in worst case scenario, when the seats are stained, the seats are needing some deep love, that's when we would go to extraction. So kind of depending on what the seat needs, we are gonna make the best decision from there, right? This one doesn't need a shampoo and extraction. We would just be wetting it up and making it musty for no reason, when we can just do this and get great results. But like I said, heavily stained seats, we are gonna go with something like an extraction instead. All right guys, and that's gonna wrap it up. This was just a full detail with a polish add-on and a 1-year ceramic protection for the vehicle here. As you can see, came out awesome. If this is something that you guys need, go ahead and feel free to visit my website, go to my Instagram, call me directly, 669-300-9370. We can get you booked in, get you a free quote, see how we can help you out, guys. Until the next one.